Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well, having a fantastic one out there. It's not often you catch me before 8 a.m., but I woke up early, got a jog in, and I have some extra time this morning, so I said, let's go ahead and sit down, relax, listen to some music together. And today we're listening to a little bit of David Bowie. We're going to listen to this track off of his album Let's Dance, 15th studio album, released 1983, and that's going to be the track Ricochet. So that's what makes me think. I'm sorry. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Tony. Tony, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support as well. And really quickly, I would like to just see, I believe this track had been suggested by a few others. Let me just, if you don't mind giving me just a brief moment to see who those others may have been. That would be Robert Jewell as well. I caught you. I knew there was someone else. Just had to reach in there into the comment section and grab your name. So thank you guys so much as well. Do you mind if I, for lack of a better word, humble brag for a brief moment? Okay, so after Liam was born, I gained weight again, and I didn't have as much time to work out. Obviously, a baby being born kind of throws things into a little bit of chaos. But I was able to kind of start really working out and getting my diet back in check and stuff in the past few months. Can I just say, I'm pulling up my weight right now. Can I just say, on March 21st, I was at 225. March 21st. Today, it's the 16th right now. It's May 16th. I got down to 209.8. Give me my button. Where's my button? And what have I done? I mean, I work out almost every day. I work out at least 4 times a week, but more than likely 5 to 6. 3 days of jogging, and then the other days of HIIT. Was that high intervals, intensity training, whatever that is. Little weight, little cardio. Just trying to get it down again. Anyways, just wanted to say something. Let's go ahead and listen to some music, huh? Let's dance, shall we? Let's go ahead and pull up the song, talk about it after. Here we go.
Like weeds on a rock face, waiting for the sign. Ricochet.
It's kind of a Peter Gabriel.
The world is on a corner, waiting for jobs. Ricochet, ricochet. Turn the holy picture, so they face the wall.
It's a really cool track.
Factories, pieces of machinery, mine shafts, things like that.
March of flowers, march of dimes. These are the prisons, these are the crimes. Sound of thunder, sound of gold, sound of the devil breaking parole. Ricochet is not the end of the world.
What a joy to listen to at this time in the morning.
Sound of thunder, sound of gold, sound of the devil breaking parole. Ricochet, ricochet. These are the prisons, these are the crimes, teaching life in a violent new way. Ricochet, ricochet. Turn the holy picture, so they face the wall.
Unbroken bears to be forgotten.
so heavy too.
To be forgotten.
March of flowers, march of dimes. These are the prisons, these are the crimes.
Early, before the sun, they struggle off to the gates. Their secret, fearful places, they see their lives unraveling before them.
I love that little bass come up there.
March of flowers, march of dimes. These are the prisons, these are the crimes. Sound of thunder, sound of gold, sound of the devil breaking the road. Ricochet, he's at the end of the world.
But when they get home, done-eyed and weary, they smile and crush their children to their evil chests, making unfulfillable promises.
Nice little switch up.
All who can bear to be forgotten.
What a fantastic track that was. Now it's 8:05 in the morning, and this was fantastic to basically wake up my day and my morning. Okay, very strong. When did this album come out? It's 1983. The production is very strong. The drums are heavy and pounding. Love the percussion that's strewn throughout here as well. Constantly adding this earthly rhythm to the music as well. I couldn't help but think of Peter Gabriel and, of course, his use of world music and such, and bringing it into a certain kind of art rock, art pop style. And this from Bowie is kind of hitting that same stride. The drums, to me, kind of sounding of some sort of African variety there. And I like how strong that is. I know I said that before, but I just like how powerful that is in the rhythm. Without any other musical accompaniment, without any bass, sax, voice, the drums are quite strong all on their own, and they could really carry this song. And I think, if I'll go out on a limb, the drums do carry the song. I like how at this point in Bowie's career, which we haven't really explored anything around this time, like his voice, at least in this particular track, it sounds sullen and like very deep and rich and earthly and drawn from the dirt. And I like the deep way that he kind of draws over it, almost like a tar, like sap. His voice is like sap from a tree. It's slow moving, but there's a sweetness there. There's something organic and natural and from nature. And I really like the way that he sings over this track. And it has a very interesting structure as well. At first, you're following along with the drums, bum bum, bum bum, and then there's these weird breaks that come in at random moments that kind of completely tear away from what's being played, and then kind of go into a different direction, like a ricochet, just bang, bouncing off the wall there. I wish I saw exactly when that happened. Of course, I find it to be
Breaking the road. Ricochet, he's at the end of the world.
I like how they say it's not the end of the world, and that's what ends that particular melody and rhythm. Like, it interrupts the music to say it's not the end of the world, and then it kind of reforms itself and goes from there. That's really interesting. And there's something about the music as well that kind of reminds me a little bit. I don't know why I'm thinking of this band, but for some reason they're coming into my mind. It's reminding me of Magma a little bit. There's something about it that's reminding me of Magma. Excuse me. The bass was also really nice on this particular track and on the album. You have Carmine Rojas on the bass. I can't say I've ever heard of Carmine Rojas, so let's go ahead and click on his article here. Obviously an American bass guitarist, etc. He's toured with David Bowie for several tours, playing on some albums. Let's look at his discography. Let's see. Obviously Bowie here, Beth Hart. Can't say it's Patti LaBelle. Is this where Patti LaBelle came from? Probably. Can't say there's a lot of familiar names to me, but he's had a long and storied career. Tina Turner there as well, Steve Taylor. So, but his bass playing in here was so tasteful and deep, like rocking the earthly basis of this song. And I love those moments where he kind of comes up, bop, 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 just to give it a little of the high notes, but then he goes right back into the depths there. And then you have some horns that come in. You have sax on the album from Stan Harrison, Robert Aaron, Steve Elson, trumpet from Mac Golhan. And while I can't say exactly who's playing what, or who's playing in this particular track, I would think that probably they all are. They're playing brilliantly. And you know what? It's kind of a catchy song too, with the way that Bowie kind of nonchalantly says, Ricochet. You know, the way he kind of sings it kind of sounds like Doncochet. I just said that. This is a really cool track. And Tony, you said that this is one of the oddest tracks to come up on what you say is his most commercial album. I mean, it definitely has an oddity to it, but man, is it cool to listen to. And I love the way that the music just rides out at the end. You know, I like a little instrumental ride out. And you got some random sound clips that pop in here throughout as well. Like weeds on a rock face waiting for the scythe. Ricochet, ricochet. The world is on a corner waiting for jobs. Ricochet, ricochet. Turn the holy pictures so they face the wall. And who can bear to be forgotten? I think that this line is so implicative. Like, turn the holy pictures so they face the wall. Don't let them see what's about to happen. March of flowers, march of dimes. These are the prisons. These are the crimes. Like a march of flowers, a march of, if you have a march of flowers, perhaps something celebratory like a wedding, or it could even be like a funeral, depending. But there's a march of something natural and earth occurring, and then there's a march of money. Men wait for news while thousands are still asleep, dreaming of tram lines, factories, pieces of machinery, mine shafts, things like that. March of flowers, march of dimes, these are the prisons, these are the crimes. Sound of thunder, sound of gold, sound of the devil breaking parole. Another great line. Sound of the devil letting loose and getting loose. Ricochet, it's not the end of the world. It repeats the lines there again. These are the prisons, these are the crimes, teaching life in a violent new way. Ricochet, ricochet. Who can bear to be forgotten? March of flowers, march of dimes, these are the prisons, these are the crimes. Early before the sun, they struggle off to the gates. In their secret, fearful places, they see their lives unraveling before them. That's when they get home, damp-eyed and weary. They smile and crush their children to their heaving chest, making unfulfillable promises. For who can bear to be forgotten? Like, holding their children and saying, oh, we're going to do this, but they're unfulfillable promises. Let's do a Google of these sound clips. I'm just going to do a quick search and see if we can find out where that's from. When I Googled it right now, it just brought up Ricochet once again. I just feel like there's probably something. I feel like I'm sure that that's from somewhere, that sound clip there. Let me see if I can maybe find it this way. It's just bringing up David Bowie Ricochet anytime I Google that. Maybe we can come back over here to me. Maybe we can find something here in the I guess songs. This is the opening of side 2. Biographers found Ricochet the only track reminiscent of the experimental nature of Bowie's late 1970s recordings. Perone finds it out of place with the rest of the album and suggests the artist was entering an artistic low point. Who asked you? Bowie stated, I thought it was a great song and the beat wasn't quite right. It didn't roll the way it should have. The syncopation was wrong. It had an ungainly gait. It should have flowed. Nile did his own thing to it, but it wasn't quite what I had in mind when I wrote the thing. Okay, so even Bowie was a little dissatisfied with it. I do like the syncopation in the beginning, though. Like, you get that straight off the bat when the drums come in and everything else.
Waiting, rock face.
Right? And then,
Like we
see the way that Bowie comes in.
rock face. Waiting for
I think that is kind of a cool syncopation there. And he says it had an ungainly gait. I gotta say, I think that's kind of what makes it unique. That's part of what makes it stand out, is that movement from the drums there. But, you know, listen, what can you say? Except thank you for listening. Hope you had a fantastic time listening to it with me, to this track. Tony, thank you so much for the recommendation and for the suggestion. I appreciate the support. And, you know, I didn't really think about the track title, Ricochet. The music is clearly ricocheting in many ways with some of the breaks and such, but I didn't really think about what it meant. So I'm like, get back over here. And I just realized my camera's not on. Boop, here we go. We do have some information here. The track can be read as a dystopian take on collateral damage of late-stage capitalism. Workers are jobless and downtrodden, and religion is failing, rather. I didn't think about it like that, but to be honest, I wasn't quite sure how I was thinking about it. The last part I understood, you know. Well, okay, I suppose this, yeah, maybe losing a job, coming home from work damp-eyed and weary, smile and crush their children with their heaving chests, crushing their children in the sense of like holding them so tightly, you know, also comforting themselves, trying to make these unfulfillable promises. Not necessarily musically, but it kind of has like a Scott Walker taste to it as well, a little bit. Huh. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Bye.